Welcome to Smoke Shop.
Hiding it behind my back because it's a big secret. This is the one, guys. This is what's going to make me go viral. The $50 investment that will save me thousands. Ugh. Yeah, it's not really that big of a deal. Anyway, I bought a set of body hammers with the dollies. I've messed around a little bit with my own, just whatever I can find that's sort of shaped the right way. But I figured for $50, it was a worthwhile investment because I would like to learn the metal shaping techniques and repair. And there are certain panels that I'm going to replace because they're easier to replace than to replicate. But I wouldn't mind figuring out how to make my own panels, if not on this car eventually. And repair some of the issues that this car already has. So, not that it's going to be that big of a unboxing. Actually, let's go ahead and do that over there by the car. That way we can get you in a little bit closer. So, this is probably something that goes on sale occasionally. I paid full price just because I've been kind of trying to convince myself to get it for a while. So, I guess we could go through the... Yeah, there we go. Let's learn together. We've got a low crown cross chisel hammer. We have a high crown pick hammer. We have a shrinking hammer. We have a general purpose dolly. We have a double end dolly. And we have a wedge dolly. And we have a heel dolly. Anyhow, everything's bagged and theoretically has a space up here. So there is a nice explanation of everything there. Although the descriptions are not in the same order as the tools are listed. But whatever. Anyhow, I'm not going through a tool review on here. But we will play a little bit with that. Alright, y'all ready for this? Eye protection. Put on your eye protection. We're going to get rid of this damn Bondo. Because I'm sick of it. I should probably weld that first. So let's get out some sort of a grinding disc or sanding disc and knock some of that off. And then maybe we'll break out the welder and see if I can get that back into something around what it's supposed to be. So 60 grit flap disc. it's all rusted out. Haha. I just discovered some more damage. Well, that was a fun little experiment anyway. But realistically, this whole fender needs to be pulled off, unfortunately. So, whatever. We have an oboe player next door now that's learning Christmas carols, it would seem. Anywho, that was us messing around yesterday. Could probably use some more light, but did knock off all the Bondo, but the further I got into this thing, you know, my plan was just to kind of weld that and shape it correctly. But then as I get into here, can I turn on the light? Oh yeah, there it is. So yeah, that edge there is all ripped off. So we're gonna have to pull this fender to fix that. Regardless, none of that really matters, because in reality, I have two fenders sitting right there. So big picture, you know, sure, we can mess around with sheet metal that we don't need to mess around with to learn, which is what will end up happening. Is I'll pull that fender and we'll set it on a table and play with it probably. If we pull that fender, then we may as well pull that fender. And once we get into that, then realistically we need the axle boots and check all the seals and do the fluid change and all that, because once that fender's out, that'll make that at least a little bit easier to get to stuff. So we may get into some more mechanics before we really get into any sheet metal. Another thing I'm thinking about doing is just exposing that better, where that fiberglass is, seeing what's going on there. You know, I mean, if I had a bunch of money to throw at this car, then I would go ahead and blow it apart. I'm really trying not to do that yet. I'd like to keep it, get it more drivable and or keep it drivable for now. And, you know, work on it as we go. That's something else that we could... I don't know why it won't let me turn the light on now. But anyway, I think I've shown it in another video. You know, somebody did some, I guess, relief cuts or something to try and shape this hood. So I think what I need to do is get the contour of a correct hood that is not all screwed up, and maybe trace it onto a piece of cardboard or something. That way I at least have something to go by. And then we'll work on fixing that. So, I don't know what's going to happen today. We'll see. Hi guys, selfie mode. So, I don't know how loud that airplane is flying over. But anyway, it's a beautiful day. I figured maybe we would do a bit of a backyard walk around. It's kind of trashed, but it's finally cooling off enough right now that we can take care of some of that. I don't know if it's going to be today or not, but... So, behind me there is a water tank that is intended to be part of the water system for catching rainwater. That's Ron Burgundy. Yeah, 2,500 gallon water tank. The intention is to put it at the corner of the building. I have all my gutters running to the corner where I intend to put it. Like I said, the building is a 40 by 60, so it produces quite a bit of water in a nice Florida rainstorm. There's 4 acres behind me. It's actually for sale, but I don't have any money, so that's not going to happen. But if somebody buys it and turns it into apartments or something, that's going to suck. This is the low end of the property, by the way. This actually all turns into standing water during the rainy season. But we're due for a fire. It's my little pump house for my well system. But pressure tank. I haven't checked on this stuff in a while. So this is a shallow well. Chock full of all types of iron and sand, depending on the time of year. The pump may kick on, that's going to get noisy. But this is a spin-down filter, flushable spin-down filter, which really helps with the sand, preventing it from clogging up the other filters in the system. That's a, I don't even remember, 15 micron, I think, in this. Anyway, we're not going to get too far into the water system, but I did want to show you. I think there's some sand there at the bottom. Not anymore. And I have my little tapper. And then I'll hit it again. But Harbor Freight, Drummond, whatever the ratings are on it, I installed that to test the well when I bought this piece of property. Oh my god, I'm being attacked. Anyway, I bought that to test the well when I bought this piece of property because it was on sale. It was super cheap. I've been running it. It's been running my house for 4 years. Fire pit. Pardon the wind noise that I'm sure is happening. Definitely due for a fire. I almost cut all this stuff down, but there's still a bunch of bees in there. And if I haven't mentioned it, I'm kind of a hippie, so I'm trying not to destroy their little environment. That is a 1982 Coachmen Leprechaun. I lived in this basically before and during the building project of this building. That's the water all coming together there. Try and get out of the sunbeam. There we go. Again, this is a I think it's 82 Coachmen Leprechaun. That is definitely a very near future project to get this thing running again and move it out of where it is. It's been sitting here blocking my view out of the sliding glass door for probably over a year. So that's possibly this afternoon. I always say that. I've had it running, like I said, relatively recently. I have not checked it since the storms blew through. Matter of fact, doesn't smell completely toxic. Yeah, we'll have to get in there. Anyhow. It's still overall relatively solid, even if there is a leak in the back. I know there's leak in the back corner. I don't know how protected the tarp has had it. The generator is old Onan. I had it running when I first bought the camper. It's gas. You know, it needs some attention. It needs some love. It was in much better shape. Well, it looked a lot better, I should say, when I first got it. It was all an illusion. Somebody had painted it. Anywho, that is 2 doors, 2 fenders, and a hood to get rid of all the rust. Well, a good percentage of the rust on the camper there. This trailer is something that I picked up, I traded it for another trailer. I traded it for a big, heavy-duty, untitled trailer, now that I think about it. And this is titled as a camper. So that has potential. It's a friend's golf cart. Ron Burgundy? I am Ron Burgundy? So Ron Burgundy. Oh, that was a great shot, Ron. Looking good, buddy. That's the best I've ever seen you look. Bam. Ron Burgundy is obviously an old flooring van. But the unique thing about him is that a friend of mine decided that he was going to power stroke convert it. So believe it or not, this was not originally a diesel van. I don't know what I'm showing you other than the fact that there's no room to get to anything. But this is a power stroke diesel now. I don't have the keys on me or anything. I'm not going to start it. Y'all make a bunch of comments about that you want to see Ron Burgundy. We'll get further into it. Runs good. This is a 1993, 92, 93, 93. Volkswagen Eurovan. I actually have 2 of these. One of them is wrecked and has a story behind it. And this one was the replacement for the wrecked van. So, when many of you think of a Volkswagen van, you think of a rear engine, either the early air-cooled or into the Vanagon years, they actually did become liquid cooled, water cooled, but they were still a rear engine van. The Eurovan of this era is the first front engine Volkswagen van. And who knows what's going to jump out of here. Oh, you've got rats. Alright, well, that sucks. Yeah, I haven't opened this in a while, if you can't tell. Definitely have mices or rats. And that's not good. This is a basically an Audi inline 5, Volkswagen Audi group. It's kind of stuffed in there, but believe it or not, the entire radiator assembly unbolts at those 4 bolts, and you take this handle. I shouldn't do this because it's going to break. Yeah, I'm not going to do it. But anyway, that whole assembly lifts up and comes out, lifts up and comes out that way. Another one that kind of ran when parked, but it's got electrical gremlins. Most German cars do. The interior Oh yeah. This is what happens when you let cars sit too long, guys. This was my daily. And the one before it. For years. Anywho. Not good. Funny thing though, it doesn't really smell mildewy. Or there's no rats inside of the van so far. Anyway. And old Yeller just sitting there, tires going flat. There are plans for this also. I need to do some more yard work. But then it's probably going to get traded on. That'll be a surprise. Another video. Anywho, I reckon let's get back inside. Hi. I found my CD cases, and theoretically, we're going to open up this box and see what we can find. You may never see this footage because I'm not sure what's in here. I also don't have my knife on me, but I don't think I'm going to need it. We're just going to get rid of that because I don't know what it is. Wow. Yeah, this is... Yeah, both cases are in here. Okay, so that, my friends, is a whole lot of music, much of which I believe myself and my friends own the rights to, basically, because it's our music. There's definitely a lot of covers, but there's also a whole lot of original. I'm not going to scrub through it all, but I have a couple discs specifically that I'm looking for that I should be able to grab some good new music from. Also, a Flavor Flav clock. Yeah, boy. Well, life kind of got in the way on this one. Again, I'm still making adjustments to this whole YouTube thing. There are other things, of course, beyond me making YouTube videos in my world. A Sunday, Wednesday schedule I don't think is that far-fetched, but until I really dial it in and am completely focused on doing this, I guess it's kind of a big ask for me to produce great videos every time. We'll see what comes out of this one. If it seems like a chopped up mess, it may be. I think I've got enough footage that I can at least put something together. We'll see. I believe an executive decision has been made by the board of directors that bodywork wise, that rear fender that we messed with a little bit definitely needs to come off. Realistically, before I start getting into any of the sheet metal other than what's structurally necessary, I'm gonna have to blow this car apart. I don't mind doing that, especially if the channel is doing well, and I believe it would help grow the channel. The financial aspect is frankly what's holding me back right now. I mean, I can take this thing apart just like a bunch of other people have done in the past and have a car taken apart in my shop. But if I don't have any money to throw at it, it's gonna just kind of sit there, which is why I've actually been kind of putting it together more than taking it apart. I believe what I'm going to do next project with that car, Mr. Hancock, the Volkswagen, is measure out and brace up that passenger door frame and get ready to tackle that A pillar, because that's structural and I don't want to do any damage driving this thing up and down my crappy road. So that's probably something that we're going to kind of focus in on, is that I'm not 100% confident, but that's how we learn. There's plenty of information out there. I've watched 3, 4, 5 different people do it. All of them kind of approached it a little bit differently.
But anyway, subscription wise, I have not looked recently. I gained one and then lost one yesterday, so that was kind of disheartening. It was like like a little bunny hop. Yep. So I don't know. Again, I'm not going to look back on Sunday's video, but we are at 135 subscribers as of. Well, this will come out Wednesday. It's actually election day, so get out and vote if you haven't already. Well, too late now. Never mind. I hope you voted. I'm not getting into any politics on here. I guess that's really it, folks. We'll see what happens for Sunday. Again, we'll see. Let me know if you want to see more motorcycle content. Frankly, it's not doing that well comparatively. Not that I'm a huge channel, but the analytics still do show what's going on. I will definitely show some motorcycle content. But everything's telling me to kind of focus on Mr. Hancock. I'm sorry, I go to bed now. Night night. What? Anywho, so we'll just, play it by ear. And I also still want to do a video kind of introducing the channel. I don't know if that's going to be the same one, but a walkthrough of the shop and the build process. I don't have a lot of video of the build process, but I could do some video, and I have some photographs to where I could do a slideshow / video. Anywho, hopefully that's enough footage. Once again, thanks for watching, and stick with us, or you are us. So let's stick with it, and we'll grow the channel together. Mosquito! Did I mention I'm in Florida? Anyway, thanks. Bye-bye.